Yeah, a lot of technical difficulties. I don't know why YouTube's not. All right, guys, can you? Man, this is crazy. All right, guys, can you? Can you guys see my charts? You can't, can you? Stop. Ba, 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 ba. Can you guys see my charts? I saw Arnold. Yeah, me and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, yeah, that was a while ago. Oh, there we go. I saw Arnold. Yeah, me and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, that was a while ago. Alrighty. Hallelujah. Oh, there we go. Guys, can you give me a yes in the chat box that we actually have charts now? Alrighty, we're good to go now. So for you guys that are on the replay, I apologize about that, but YouTube is doing YouTube. Anyway, good to go. Fantastic, guys. Welcome to another edition of Market Update Time with me. Firstly, guys, I want to get into the typical disclaimer, and then we're going to get started from here. All right, guys, do not place a trade based on today's session because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantee to making money in the markets, and trading is a difficult thing if you don't know what you are doing. All right, so be smart about the way that you're trading. Also, guys, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you head on down to mastertraderlab.com where you can get access to monthly coaching from me on the markets, and then also access to a whole bunch of different trading courses to help you start to get ahead on the foundations, the mindset, the chart reading, help you start get ahead there. And I'm giving away a free trial to that as well too. So make sure you start doing that. Let's get straight into the charts. Alrighty, guys. So I want to share something with you. So let's actually go through these one by one. I want to talk about wait for confirmation because I've heard so many people start to say things like, oh, well, I'm getting into X now because of this. I'm getting into, I'm buying throughout the last couple of weeks, it was people were buying natural gas because they saw this big spike up. So they started buying natural gas as it came down, thinking that the market was going to bounce and was going to find some sort of bounce here. I know a lot of people, I even had a comment on one of my YouTube videos yesterday saying that they're still in natural gas now, and natural gas, and they got into natural gas because something to do with the heating season or something like that, for some external reason. Well, if it's going to be hot, there's going to be a lot of natural gas, so therefore it's going to go up, and just crazy things about people getting into trades based on all this sort of stuff, right? So what was happening was, and what happened was, when we're doing that, and when you're doing that, you're not waiting for confirmation. As I said before, so many people, I saw one comment yesterday saying, because of the heating season, I'm going to buy natural gas. And then they're starting to say, well, it's definitely going to go up sometime. So I don't know, it might be in a few months time frame. So I'm happy to hold on and all this sort of stuff. And it's just like, before you get into, you're buying something because of an external thing, which is crazy. Then you're going to hold on to it and hope and pray it's definitely going to recover, which is crazy. And it's just not a really, really, really good thing to do. You always have to wait for confirmation based on a trading setup, guys, please. And use some basic analysis of when you are viewing the markets, okay? Use some basic analysis of when you're viewing the markets, which simply means when you are trading the markets and when you're trying to get ahead in the markets, what you want to be doing is you want to be making sure that you are simply sticking with, with some basic analysis like peaks and troughs, highs and lows, who's in control, and so on and so forth. Because I know so many people right now that are still holding natural gas, hoping that this is going to be another support level down here and it's going to rally back up. It's just the wrong way to go. It really is, guys. It really is. You're on the back foot. You're sitting there hoping and praying and hoping and praying and hoping and praying. And you're in that thing for months and months and months and months on end, hoping you're just going to get back to break even. Meanwhile, you've got all these amazing opportunities just pass you by. So it's really, really, really important to understand that. And, and if you are in that situation right now, when it comes to natural gas or any market out there or any trade right now, I empathize with you because I've been there the same way. Like you'll get into a trade based on a news announcement or something fundamental or whatever. And then when it doesn't go for you, you'll sit there like, well, it's going to come back later on, and story. And then you sit there and you're in this thing for 6 months and it just never works out, right? Just never, ever works out. That's why I always say never trade based on what you think, hope, or fear. Now, when I say that, what you think, hope, or fear, because when I do my analysis on the charts, I'm doing my analysis on the charts to see what's going on right now. When it comes to my trading, I have a trading setup that I trade that I know that works 9 times out of 10. So that's the differences from when doing analysis on a market in conjunction of trading the market. Same for if we have a look at, say, for example, and I know a lot of people, some people same with silver, right? They think silver's in an upward trend. It's going to continue up right now. We're in a bull flag. Let me get in early now because it's definitely going to break up. And as you guys have seen, right? Like I've said to you guys at the last couple of sessions that we may not break up, especially with silver. Silver's actually a harder one because we've got a lot of resistance here. And as you can see, right, if you look at this chart through here, look at this here. This whole high up here, look what happened. Look what happened with silver. This is the silver chart. The market ran up, hit this whole conjunction of major long-term resistance, came down, came back up, rejected this as resistance, rejected it once, twice, 3, and even today ran up, rejected it, and came down, and this is where we are right now. Now, I'm not saying that this is definitely going to go down or this stuff going. I don't know what's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. But if you're trying to get into silver right now, thinking that this is the perfect time because it's an upward trend and we've got a bull flag, and bull flags definitely break out to the upside, they're going to like, no, they don't always definitely break to the upside. So you want to stay away from that thought or what you think is going to happen there. So high, low, high, low, high, low. We still could be getting some sort of high, low right here, but that's where this is the short-term trend. One of the most successful thing you can do as a trader, okay, the most successful thing you can do as a trader is to combine the short-term trend or the short-term, if you're looking at here, say you're looking at the last, say, 3-4 months, and then combine that with the bigger picture, the last 12 months, last couple of years on a weekly chart, that's when you really start to dial into some powerful trading setups. So, and as I said before, right, look at this here. No wonder we rejected at this level through here on that weekly chart on silver because we're out there right now. So what you want to be doing is wait for confirmation. Once we start to break above both these levels through here, then yes, then we could possibly start to see, if we break above 1625, then we're pretty much what we call white space of a free and clear run to 1725. Now, I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen. You still need to wait for a trading setup. But what I'm saying here is if you're getting into silver right now, thinking that it's definitely going to continue up because the market and blah, 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 all this sort of stuff, then that's the wrong way to be thinking about the markets. Now, when we're looking at, let's actually go look at gold here. Gold, same thing for gold, but gold is actually holding up quite strongly. if I squeeze my chart up just the last couple of months, actually, let me bring up the GLD price because that's a much more nicer sort of chart that I've been doing my analysis on. You still see we're in this bear flat bull flag here, right? Nice big run up, a nice pullback here with all these small little bars. Right now is not the right time. If you want to be getting into something, you need to wait for confirmation. You need to wait for confirmation. Now, what is confirmation? Well, whatever it is for you, right? Now, there's two things that goes into a trading setup that you need to. I have a trading plan which has rules, but this trading setup, the setup that I'm looking for was I'm looking for the actual setup, and then I'm looking for the entry bar. I know exactly what I'm looking for. The entry bar is the confirmation of, okay, now's the time to enter this market. You must have that with your trading plan. Your setup, what's the actual setup look like? Meaning what, like what's the pattern on the chart you're looking for? Essentially, that's what that means. What's the pattern? And then what's the entry bar look like? You need to know that. You need to know exactly what that is. So for me, I know exactly what pattern I'm looking for and what the bar needs to look like in order for me to get into a trade. But then I have 4 or 5 rules that I apply looking at the longer term time frame charts to combine that with a very high quality, powerful trading setup. And that's basically what we're looking at there. That's what we're looking at, right? That's what we want to be doing there. So wait for confirmation. Yes, if we do start to break above the 125 on this GLD price, then we could start to possibly see a run back up towards these highs back up here, which is 129. Let me go back to the daily chart here for a minute. But wait for confirmation because it may not, all right? It may not continue up from here. And so therefore, once again, you want to wait for confirmation. Same for, let's go have a look at the SIL. You know, same for the SIL, right? Like, look what's happening here. We're getting some sort of a bull flag formation, and it may continue up from here. But remember, guys, if you've been watching my sessions for the last few weeks, what you want to be looking at and what you want to be focusing on is that you want to be focusing on waiting for confirmation. So yes, we are in a nice, good bull flag here on the SIL, the silver miners. But we haven't got any confirmation. It doesn't mean just because it's a bull flag doesn't mean it's going to be bullish. We can definitely get a breakdown and it runs back down towards the $24.50 to $24. This is the same for the GDX, the GDXJ, and especially the GDX, right? We're in this beautiful bull flag. Yes, a lot of the times we'll get a nice, good breakout. This good bull flag is generally bullish in the markets. Yes, but you must wait for, say it with me, confirmation. Confirmation is the breakout. Okay, because we could get a breakdown, and if we get a breakdown, then this thing could head back down to $20, the GDX. If we get a nice break up and out, then this is poised to have a nice run back up to $24.50 and so on and so forth. I hope you guys see that. But wait for confirmation. Wait for confirmation. Wait for confirmation. Now, one of the biggest things that's going to stop you as a trader is, remember, it's never about one trade. It's not about, well, I traded this and I got that right. I traded this and then I made money on that, so therefore I got it right. I traded this and I lost money on that, therefore I got it wrong. That's right and wrong and all that sort of stuff is going to really screw you up. It's not about this one trade if you're going to take a trade. It's about what you can do over a basket of trades. If you want to be long-term successful in the markets, it's about taking the same setup every time, no matter what. Okay. So if I showed you every trade that I took this entire year, every single one of them look almost identical to each other. Let me say that again. If you want long-term success in the markets, you must have your trading setup, confirmation, and your trading plan. And that trade that you take must look almost identical to each other. Almost identical. It must meet the exact same rules. So therefore, like I've taken now, I think it's maybe 6 trades or something like that, maybe 5 or 6 trades this entire year so far. And every single one of those have met the rules every single time, because it's not about one trade. It's about what I can consistently do throughout the rest of this year and throughout the rest of my life, because that's what's most important to you. And that's what I care about for you as a trader. If you want long-term success, you want consistent results, then you must be consistent at trading the market the exact same way every time. See, when I have my private clients, and when I have my private clients, I teach them exactly what to look for in the setup, exactly what the confirmation bar looks like. So there is no, it's not like, is it or isn't it, and so on and so forth, right? Now, in every trading system, there's a bit of a gray area, but you learn that from time to time, right? But I teach that, and that's the reason why I also do weekly coaching every single week to help you get better at trading that one simple but powerful trading setup. Because I know, and I tell my clients all the time, they know if you wait for those A quality setups, no, there's not a lot, but most of them, 90+% of them do run on for profits. Let me say that again. If you wait for those A quality setups for my coaching clients, if you wait for those A quality setups in the markets and you know how to, and meaning the whole complete trading plan, then 90+% of them will generate a profit, right? There's just no doubt about that. So my job as a coach is to help you get better and better and better at identifying those setups, those A+ setups, which most of them will generate a really nice profit for you. And as I said before, if you looked at all my trades that I've taken, say just this year, every single one of them, which are A+ setups, phenomenal trading success so far, have met the rules. And the reason I'm saying this to you is because your consistent results long term is going to is going to determine on how consistent you are in the markets. If you're getting in today based on a support and resistance level, and then tomorrow you're getting out because of a breakout, and then the next day you're getting in because of this, it's like, no. You're getting in based on all these thinking, hoping, and all this sort of stuff. There's no consistency there. You need to have a system and a confirmation. And you need to know exactly what that confirmation bar looks like for you to get into it. Remember, guys, this is all about setting yourself up for long-term success. It's not about making money straight away. I'd prefer you to spend a good 2 or 3 months for starters to get yourself right. Set up a good foundation, which means exactly what you're looking for in an A quality setup. And then for the rest of your life, you can keep getting better and better and better and better and better at trading that. All you need is one really good setup. And if you had one really good setup and you do 90+% of the time, it was going to generate a really good profit for you. And on top of that, and if you knew that, right, then you don't need a lot of trades for the rest of your life. A lot of people are trying to trade a lot because they have a small trading account, and that's just blowing themselves out of the water because now you're making a lot of mistakes. You're trading too much of your account and so on and so forth. So wait for confirmation, and the same for the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 right now. Like a lot of people are still trying to short this market. If you guys have been watching me now for the last few weeks, maybe to a month now, I've been saying momentum hasn't changed yet. So don't try to short the market right now thinking that's going to be the top. You may be right, but what's that? A broken clock is always right or once or something like that, right? You may be right, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to be wrong. Now there's that thing, right, wrong. Like I don't care about being right or wrong in the markets. All I care about is how well do I trade my plan? Because I know, same for you guys, right? I know that when I stick to my trading plan, I'm going to do well. It's just not a matter of if, it's just a fact. And when I don't do well, I don't trade my plan. I take these other shit trades. So same for the S&P 500. We haven't actually changed momentum yet. And same for the NASDAQ as well too. We haven't changed momentum yet. We have gotten some slowing periods, but momentum is still on the upside. We haven't got that change in momentum yet. So don't try and force the market. Don't try and fight the market because you are only going to be left empty-handed in the markets there. And that's basically what this is all about. This, when you trade in the markets and trying to get ahead in the markets, trading successfully long-term is all about that. So many people start getting involved with this market or start getting involved with trading, and they think it's just this get-rich-quick thing. Like they don't have to do anything. I was speaking to someone yesterday on a phone call, and he was like, John, I can resonate with your story. I used to be a landscape gardener as well too, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I said to him, it's like, trading is no different to any market out there. If you take your time, and he was applying for my coaching program. I said, if you spend the next 2 to 3 months really getting good at identifying a really good high quality setup on the charts, for you to be able to identify that on the charts and developing your confidence, which has been seeing it over and over and over again. If you spend the next 2 to 3 months taking your time, then I guarantee you're going to be whipping most people's butt in the market in result wise, because now you took your time to build that strong foundation. People just want to look at a chart, open up a trading account and start to buy or sell and all this sort of stuff. That's not how successful trading long-term for you is all about. So if you're not taking that time to build that foundation, then you know exactly where you're going to be at Christmas this year. Christmas this year is going to come. Where are you going to be? What are you going to do? Are you going to keep doing the same thing over and over again? Or are you going to sit back and say, you know what? And actually have a hard look at yourself. So what am I actually doing here? What am I thinking about this? How am I taking this? Because I say to all my private clients, I promise you this, if you spend the next 2 to 3 months and work hard at learning what the system is, like my A+ setup, and you work hard and you learn and you work hard at not only understanding it, but then learning how to identify it in real time in the markets, it might take you 2 or 3 months to get there. And then seeing my trades that I take, and then seeing it over and over and over and over again. If you take your time initially, you can take your time now so you can move forward faster later on. I guarantee you, with my coaching clients, anyone that's in my coaching program right now, the people that are going to be whipping butt and just kicking ass at the end of this year are those who actually take their time. Now, this is not a plug for my coaching program. All I'm trying to say is that if you're not taking, it could be you, and you might be subscribed to someone else. If you are not developing, or you don't know exactly what you're looking for in the markets, or a trading setup, then you're gambling and it's risky, and you're never going to get ahead long term in the markets there. So it's so important that you set up a system and you know exactly what that confirmation candle or the confirmation bar looks like on the charts, so you know exactly when to be getting in. One of the biggest things that stops traders is that there's no setup or there's no plan. It's just like, well, there's a lot of thinking or hoping. Makes sense? So that's basically what I wanted to cover today, guys, in the markets, is wait for confirmation, wait for that. Do not be trying to fight the market. Do not be trying to getting in because, well, the market's definitely going to top right now because this YouTube video and so on and so forth. I get it, guys. I get it. I've been there before. I get it, how it can just like run you over so much because these videos make you sound so compelling with all their facts and evidence of why we're going to be in a recession soon, why the market's going to keep going down, and so on and so forth, right? But if you're a trader of the markets, meaning you trade the markets and you want to get in and get out to generate an income, then you need to be blindsided by that sort of stuff, because the people that have been saying there's a recession, they've been saying that for the last 5 years. Now, yes, there are times that I do videos saying, the next leg down is going to happen, because what I'm seeing on the charts at that time, it does look like that's going to happen. But then as the market doesn't continue that way, then I have to flow like water with the market as well too. All right, guys. So please, 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 this is a bit of a kick in the butt for you guys to say, if you want a good, successful year for yourself, right? It's only it's only a month and a half into this year. If you want an amazing trading year for yourself, you must spend the next few months building that solid foundation. What does that mean? Getting your head down, bum up, and either invest. You have to invest in a course, whether it's my coaching program. If you want that, just email me at howell trader@gmail.com, and I'll speak to you on the phone. I have one spot left for that for this year, because I only have a small group of 15, 20 people at one time for that entire year. But whether you're subscribed to someone else, you must learn exactly. The foundation is, not someone else telling you when to get in, but this is the trading setup I'm looking for. This is the entry bar I'm looking for. This is where my stop's going to be. This is how I'm going to manage this trade, and so on and so forth, right? That's where real long-term success comes from, because that's where confidence comes from, right? And I can talk about how, like, I'm 100% confident in my system, because I've seen it 1,000 times that when you see this setup, it just works, period. Because I've seen it 1,000 times now. But if you are looking at 10 different trading systems and 10 different things, and getting in here because you think it's a good idea, or hope it's a good idea, and getting in here because some fundamental and so on and so forth, you're all over the place. You're not building on. That's how confidence comes into the markets. That's how success comes into your trading. And that's how you start to build long-term success in your trading. See, the thing that I've noticed about the 7-figure traders that I've been mentored off, they have one simple system and they know exactly what they're looking for on the charts, and they wait as long as they have to for that setup. You do that, it's game over. The game's easy to win. Why you are not successful as much as you want to is because you're buying gold because of this YouTube video, or you're buying natural gas because of the heating, or you're getting into silver right now because you read a report that that they're running out of silver right now, and so you better get in because supplies, demand, all that sort of stuff. Or you're trying to short the stock market because you read a really good report based on the reason why we're gonna head into the next recession. And can you see what I'm saying there, right? Every single one of those trades, or you're going to get into this market right now because it's a really, really good resistance, or you're going to get in right now because it's a breakout. And every single one of those things were completely different to each other. There was no consistency. If you want consistent results, you must be consistent with your trading. What does that mean? If you want consistent results, you must be consistent with your trading, which means being consistent at trading one setup and one setup only that that works, and building on that foundation to get better and better and better and better. So over 12 months of doing that, that's how you can rock it out with your stocks out, and you can crush it, and you can be part of the people that do well long term. I guarantee you, I'm going to take a quarter of the trades this year that you're going to take, but I'm going to probably whip your butt. That's not an arrogant thing to say. That's just because I've been there where I've taken too many trades every single month, and I've ended up with my butt being handed to me. But when I slow down, I be patient, and I only take what I need to take, that's when everything goes there. Because I guarantee you guys, you've been there before, right? And you know this. One of the biggest things we always hear as traders, and I've said this before myself, after 2 months, 3 months, 6 months worth of trading, you're like, man, I just wish I didn't trade at all. I'd be back at break even. I'd be better if I had my account. I did have I did have an account of 50 grand or 10 grand or 100 grand. And now I've got 20 grand there. Or I did have an account of 40 grand and now I've got like 10 grand left there. Man, I just wish I didn't trade at all. Right? I just wish I was back at break even. Because you're rushing it, because you're forcing it, and it just wasn't the right time to do that. Make sense, guys? So please, this whole session here is obviously talking about the stock market, but you must wait for confirmation, and you need to know exactly what you're looking for on the charts. Again, whether you want to get my coaching, just email me at haltrader@gmail.com. But whether you're subscribed to someone else, or whether you have your own trading setup, if you are not being consistent at taking that setup every single time and nothing else, you're not going to get consistent results. Makes sense, right? If you want to be consistent, you must be consistent. If you want a consistent result, then you must be consistent. And if you don't have that trading setup and you are trading right now in the markets and based on just whatever you think is a good idea, then you need to stop trading right now. I said to a guy who was applying for my coaching yesterday, I said to him, the very first thing you must do right now is you must stop trading, because you are just going to blow yourself out of the water. You really are. The next thing you need to do is you need to start building that foundation. That foundation is exactly what you're looking for on the charts, and spend the next 2 or 3 months really building that confidence and your knowledge of exactly what that perfect setup looks like. And then once you've done that and you've built that foundation, your job is to only take that perfect setup every single time. I don't care if you have to wait a week. I don't care if you have to wait a month for that setup for that setup to appear on the charts. Your job as a trader is to wait for that perfect setup. You do that through the entire year. Even if you only take one trade a month for the entire year, you're going to have a phenomenal trading career, because guess what's going to happen? Over 1 month, 3 months, 6 months of this, now you're developing your confidence. Your confidence is growing and growing and growing. Now your confidence and now your ability to put on a bit more money per trade. Before you may have started having, say, $100 risk per trade. Then you started going to $1,000 risk per trade. Then you started going to $5,000 risk per trade. And then $10,000 risk per trade. And if you're trading $10,000 risk per trade, but that one trade for that month gave you a four times return on your risk, which is, say, a $40,000 profit, now you can see how successful traders do it long term. Make sense, guys? So that's basically what I wanted to talk about in this session here. Traders, just give me 30 seconds. I just got to go do something. Give me 30 seconds. All right, traders, I'm back now. I'm back. So traders, if you want to start learning a lot of the things what I'm talking about here when it comes to the framework, what I'm talking about, like the chart reading techniques and also the mindset techniques, then go grab your free trial at mastertraderlab.com. Grab your free trial to that. Because when you log into the membership area, I've got a whole section there based on the mindset stuff. I've got, the chart reading stuff and also the framework as well too, because this is so important. You need to switch your thinking about how you trade the markets. When you do that, you can start to think differently and so on and so forth. And once again, guys, if you want to get access to my very last spot to my coaching program this year, where you get access to my #1 trading strategy and my weekly coaching as well too, where I'm coaching you every single week, then email me at howtrader@gmail.com. We'll schedule time to talk and we'll see if it's good fit for you. With that being said, guys, let me answer some questions now. Let me answer some questions. Let's actually go through this here. All right, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you put them into the chat box and we can go from there. All righty. So a bit different topic today, guys, because yes, I wanted to cover a bit about the actual markets and wait for confirmation, but I really wanted to start to drive home the thing that's going to make you successful this year. You listen to this, guys, you're going to do so well. You know that. And you know what I'm saying here is true. Okay, so let me go here. Is this the economic reset? Maybe, Nick, maybe. It may be the economic reset, but forget about that sort of crap anyway. Forget about it. Meaning the economic reset and all that sort of stuff. Yes, you know what? Yes, for the next 10 years, we're probably going to go through, as Ray Dalio talks about, right? We're right now we're getting to the point where we're going towards that long-term debt cycle. What does that mean? Long-term debt cycle simply means over the next 10 years, we get, pensions, healthcare, all those things that are required from the government are going to be affected. That's that long-term debt cycle is going to start to come into play as well too. I'm waiting for confirmation. Fantastic. All right. So things. What is the level in the S&P that needs to break in order for it to change momentum in order to move lower? Okay. Firstly, Ruhul, it doesn't mean just because it changes momentum doesn't mean it's definitely going to move lower. But for it to start to change momentum, it would have to. I still see a close. For me, the change momentum, I still need a close below. Let's do this here. Probably this level here, which is the change in momentum for me, would definitely be a close below this 2680 level. That's still the level for me. I need a close below that to see some sort of momentum change. Yeah, that round about that level there. So that'll be where momentum starts to change. Now, it doesn't mean the market's definitely going to go down when that happens. Okay, it doesn't mean the market's definitely going to go down. Okay, but that just means momentum shifted, right? Because as you can see, if you look here, this candle here is when the momentum actually shifted on the downside. But the very next candle, momentum shifted back to the upside, and it's been up ever since. So just because we have a short-term momentum shift doesn't mean it's going to continue. It just means that at that time, like for example, it was this candle right here, this candle right here was the momentum shift on the downside, and it was down ever since, and then ever since until this candle right here. That's when momentum completely started to shift. So we went from short momentum here, and the momentum stayed short here, changed back to the upside, then changed back to the downside, completely reversed back to the upside the next day, and it's been up ever since. So you never know what's going to happen, because there is, if I'm looking at my charts now, there has actually been a lot of support and resistance levels around this level through here where we are right now. So even if it does, we're still stuck in this range here. So I do see this thing probably continuing back up towards the 2,800 level, because that's where probably the next target is on this. And even if we do get a bit of a short-term change, guys, we're going to find a lot of problems around this this long-term level here, which is the 2640 level. Now, if we break that level, then yeah, I do see the lows are probably going to be challenged down here. So that's what I do see there. Rest in peace, my YOLO 3-1 spies. Puts. All right. I listened to the video that you put out a month ago. You were driving and parked and spoke for a good while. It candid and very motivational, and a window to your strong character and goodness. Bernard, can you tell me what that video was about, man? Please. Firstly, I appreciate your kind comments there. And by the way, guys, if you guys want to send me some emails to let me know exactly how my coach or how my training has actually helped you, just email me at Howell, HOWELL, my last name, trader, howtrader@gmail.com. Just email me and just let me know what, how my training and how these trainings have actually helped you. If you just want to give me some feedback about that, or if you want to get in contact with me, just email me there. So just, yeah, Bernard, let me know exactly what was that video about. So true, bro, you're a legend. Grad-Eye, he is a legend. Thank you, guys. You're giving me a big head right now. I appreciate that. I really, really, really appreciate you guys saying that. By the way, guys, I'm nowhere near a legend. I have got gray hairs because of what I've been through in my life right now, guys. And what I'm delivering to you, you guys know it's the truth. Okay, you guys know it's the truth, right? That's why I speak the truth. Why? Because I have my real money in these markets every single day. Trading is my number one thing. All right, trading is my number one thing. And I know you can do so well from trading. You just got to think about it completely differently. So I hope you can see what I'm saying there. But I really appreciate you guys, the feedback there. Now, remember, guys, if I can do what I'm doing here right now, so can you. It's not about me where I'm at. How I grew up was from a family that lived in, government housing. My mum doing drugs, doing landscaping for a job, then having a family split up where, I started doing, I didn't have any degree or anything. So I started doing pickpackering and laboring and lollipop, the stop-go person. I did all these jobs because I had no TAFE degree. I left school at year 10 just to go work for my father. So I had no degree. The thing is, guys, is that when I started doing this around 15 years ago, and when I started doing this around 15 years ago, I was so hooked. And over the last 15 years, I've gone through ups and downs and really a lot of pain. And it's only on this other side, guys, that I can really help you and say, okay, you know what, this is the truth about the markets. And that's what you get with my coaching program, by the way, is, you get the truth. So every single week, I'm teaching you how to stay on track. So long-term success, you can have that. Because that's all I care about. Is I don't care about if you can make, if you make a really good amount of money on one trade right now, like for people who just bought Bitcoin and got lucky and got the big spike, what's going to happen over the next 10 years? They're probably going to lose it all because it's not consistent. But how to see the confirmation? Cheddar, great question. How to see the confirmation? The confirmation comes from you knowing your trading system, which simply means a chart pattern and an entry bar or entry candle. That's what you need. It's a chart pattern, an entry bar, entry candle. Then you need to have some trading rules. So once again, Cheddar, the quickest way to do that is either go invest in someone else's courses that you believe in. If you trust me and you're like me, then you might want to apply for my coaching where I teach you my system and then I coach you. But you need to know exactly what you're looking for on the charts to do that. And then you need to spend some time building up your confidence. And the only way to do that is spend hours after hours after hours looking at it there. So that's what the confirmation looks like. Fibonacci retracement levels interesting in a bull flag. If we go say to GDX, they can be. So for example, what I mean by they can be is like if we have say from this low point here to this high point, as we can see, right, this low point to this high point on this bull flag on say the GDX, we've got this 50% level here. Let me delete this off the screen now. We've got this 50% level at this 2150. If the bull flag continues where it is right now, especially for a little bit longer, and then we get a nice breakout candle to the upside, and by looking at this, okay, by looking at that, if it's a retrace, if we get a nice pullback less than 50% and then a nice continuation, that's showing strong momentum on the upside. So roughs, Jan, I think it is. That's there. If something retraces, like you can see back here, right? If we go from the next low to the next high, if we do that, if we go from this next low to this next high and then a pullback, you can see this pullback here, which was right here, the 50% level was, let me delete this off the screen here. You can see here that this was this line here was the 50% level. So the 50% level right here, it actually retraced less than 50% and then continued. What does that mean? It's strong momentum in the market. So you see this time and time and time again. Same for the GLD, right? Now, the same for the GLD. What happened here? If we open this chart up, look at this here. We had a nice run up. We had a pullback. It was the 50% level was here. It was less than 50%, and then we had to continue. Now, you don't know exactly how much is going to continue. That's how you have trade selection and then trade management, right? Managing the trades and so on and so forth. So you can see what I'm saying there. And so now we're getting a retracement. We still are right now. If I open up my chart, this level through here, this is the 50% retracement level here. So we still are less than 50%. If we hold here on the GLD and we start to get a nice break up, this could be a nice continuation move, less than 50%, right? Less than 50%. So if I go back and look at these other moves, so if I go back from this low point here to this high point here, right, that point there to that point there, if I open up my charts a bit more, you can see that this, there we go. So you can see this from here, from this point here to this point up here was that's how you measure it, right? Fibonacci levels from this low point. If it's an up move, you measure from the low point to the high point. Look at that there. That there was the 50% retracement level. If I zoom in a bit more so you can really see what I'm talking about here, there we go. So that level there, let me take this off the screen here. That level was what? That was the 50% level, wasn't it? It ran up, came back, pulled back less than 50%, and then continued. Strong thing. Look at this here. From this low point to this high point, that retraced what? They retraced 50 to 60%, but still continued. So 50 to 60% is still a strong move, but what's the most strongest is it retraces less than 50% and then continues. Very, 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 very powerful thing in the markets. I can't believe, John, that after understanding what I need to do, I still didn't wait for confirmation. Now only up 10% in 7 months. Swing trading account when I could be up 46%, I calculated. Well, Yenai, you should join my coaching program. You've been around for you've been around for a while. You really need to have someone there holding your hand every step of the way. Because that's basically what I do with my coaching program. Every day you got access to me via the Facebook group, and then every week I'm doing coaching sessions to make sure you stay on track. So even if you don't, forget what I just said there about the plugging of my coaching program. What you should be focusing on is what can you learn from that, Yenai? So the rest of the year can be so much better. What are the main things you should be focusing on? And as a private client, you get access to, let me do this here, right? You get access to my workbook. The actual workbook. And this is the actual workbook, which is my trading system here. As you can see, now I'm not plugging my trading system here, right? But this is the highest probability trading system on the planet with me. And it really is. Now, the reason I'm doing this is that if I scroll right down to the bottom of this here, one of the things that I tell my coaching clients is that this is the final note. This is the final note of this workbook. You can see it's 72 pages long. This is what my private clients get, because this is a step-by-step format of exactly what the perfect setup looks like. This last section here, record, review, and improve. The only way to keep making progress in your trading with this system for long-term progress is to record. Record every trade you take in a spreadsheet and screenshots. And this is how I learn. I went back over time of, say, over a 6-month period, and I realized 80% of the trades I still taking were crap. And I realized exactly what you're doing right now, you know. I realized how bad that actually was for me, how that was actually stopping me from moving forward. Review every week, go back over all those trades for that week, or even if it's just once a month and every other week, and ask yourself, where I need to improve on, what mistakes am I making, and what did I not see, etc. Because when we're trading, right, at the very time we're emotional, we can't see what we're doing. But if you keep records of everything you do, then you go back over time. That's how you can start to. It's like a coach, right? Why do I still have a coach with my trading, and I'm doing really well, and I'm successful? Well, because there's still some things that I muck up every now and then and screw up every now and then guess what? I still need to have a coach there as well too. Improve. And then this last one, right? Record, review, and improve. Record, review, and improve. Improve is, once you know what you need to improve on, make that your focus for the following week. Imagine you're doing that every single week with your trading. You know exactly what you're looking for. You know the exact setup you're looking for. And then every single week you did this. Record, review, and improve. Record. And you did this for 1 week. And then next week, and the next week, and the next week. And you did this 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks in a row. And then guess what? You're doing this week by week by week. And then guess what? And then after, say, 2 months, 3 months of this, and then you start to go back over the entire 3 months, now you start to see where you are going wrong. And this is going to be the biggest thing that's going to kick you into high growth, massive success in the market, because you're going to stop doing the mistakes that you're doing that you don't realize you're doing at that time. And this has been a totally accountable and honest to yourself. And one of the biggest things that I learned from this, guys, is I was way over trading. 20% of the trades I was taking met the trading plan, and every single one of those trades, or most of those trades, ran on for a good legal profit. But because I got impatient and I was over trading, I started taking all these other crap trades. Guess what? Those other crap trades that I took, 80% of them were losing trades. The trades that met my trading plan, 90% of them were profitable. And then when I started looking at how much money I was actually losing by doing that, and I'm talking dollar figures here because I don't trade small amounts. It's not like I trade just $100 or something like that. I trade quite a fair bit. I realized how much I've actually lost in the past by actually doing that. And that was the wake up call for me to say, listen, now I personally, guys, and that's what I say to you, I personally link so much pain to taking shit trades. I link so much pain to getting into something now that doesn't meet a really good structure, because I've been there before. Man, if I just stuck to my trading system, I'd have this last 6 months would be amazing. I wish I could take back the last 6 months. I'd be back at break even. You know what I mean? So that's basically what I want to talk about there. With that, candlestick charts. You can use candlestick charts, but I don't use them actually. I don't use the candlesticks as like what most people do. I'm just using it as a chart. You can use bar charts if you want to. But I recommend either using candlesticks or open, highlight, close charts. Fantastic, fantastic. Can you explain the psychology behind the bull flag? Why is it bullish? Well, it's not bullish until it's confirmation, right? And if you want to look at that, I'll look at this, say this GDX here, because this is a much nicer one. The psychology is this, right? Look at this here. This is the psychology of it. Great question. The psychology of the bull flag is this. If you are looking at the markets, right? If you look at the markets as who's in control, okay? So if we've got two people two sections in the markets, right, at a particular time. So what I mean by that is this. We've got two people in the market, right? We've got sellers and we've got buyers. Now, hear me out here. If we if we look at this here and we say, okay, and we take the last two legs, this is the psychology of the market, right? We take the last two legs of the markets, which means what? Which means the last two legs, which is basically this here, these last two legs right here. Okay, so those last two legs, we're taking the buying leg and we're taking the selling leg. When we look at this, you notice from this point from here to this point up here, if I draw that and I start to really highlight it, we can see that we actually had it was a very strong buying move. So the psychology in that is strong buyers. Now, if we have a look at this selling leg from here to here, notice how it's weak sellers. So for you guys that are watching right now, if you're looking at the psychology of it's not just the bull flag, it's the market. If you're looking at these two, and we said, okay, we have sellers and we have buyers in the markets. If we saw this big, strong buying leg, and then we had this weak selling leg, who's more dominant in these last two legs as we speak right now in the markets? Now, it doesn't mean it's going to continue that way, but as we speak right now, Zaparis, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce the name. That's how this is about reading the psychology of the market. It's all about momentum. Okay. So for you guys, which one, okay, for you guys, which one is most dominant in the market? Is it the buyers or is it the sellers? Pretty easy, right? Okay, pretty easy to see. We have strong buyers, weak sellers. What does that mean? Well, weak sellers simply means we had this very strong, almost vertical move in the buying move. And look at this pullback here. It's very, very weak, right? If we're strong sellers, we get something like this. So that would be strong sellers. So I hope you can see that's the psychology of the bull flag reading the markets there. Okay. But once again, we need to wait for confirmation. If the market does break out, then that's confirmation that we're likely to see this exact same length in the pole. Then we're likely to see at least 80% of that. That's how you read the psychology of, who's in control right now. So let me continue up from here. Great question. According to Bipoli, the S&P should have dropped 50% by now. You are so right. Yeah. Trading setups, not the stuff that one likes or hates. I love it because that's what long-term successful trading is all about. That's what long-term successful trading is all about. It's definitely not about it's not about getting in based on what you think, hope, or fear, because what you think, hope, or fear it just never works out. Only take a proven setup, no speculation. Thoughts on silver right now, John? Go watch the replay of this session once it's done. Wait for it. I heard there's only about 22 people who know John's setup. Well, yeah, probably that. Probably. Well, I don't tell everyone about my trading setup. There's actually not a lot of people who know my trading full setup. I give you some glimpses of it and I give you some basics of it. Yeah, but my full trading setup, only my private clients that. Because guys, you got to think about this, guys. Okay, I have personally invested tens of thousands of dollars with what I believe is the most successful private trader on the planet right now. What I believe. It may not be true, but I believe that. And I've spent tens of thousands of dollars and years after years after years learning this stuff from actually trading the markets myself, my own real money in the markets, and getting coaching off him. And then on top of that, I have my current coaching clients who invest a lot of money with me as well too, so they can get the trading system and also the coaching as well too. So I don't release it. I don't release it to the public in a big way. For people that have been part of my coaching program in the past, that like right now, I only have one spot left open and I've got like maybe 15 people in there. You know what I mean? Now I may open it up again later on the year for another couple of people, but I only keep the group really, really small. Right now, there's only 14 people in there right now in my coaching group. I don't allow everyone into the group because my main focus is trading, but I also want to make sure that I'm showing you what I'm doing and showing you how you can get out. You can crush the market as well too. So crypto, that's what it's all about. Now remember, it has as little to do with the trading setup and a lot more with the consistency, discipline, and patience behind the setup. You have consistency, discipline, and patience, and especially patience. You can crush the market. You can do so well. Can you check out ACB stock analysis? Is this, hey Jesse? Is this another natural gas stock, my man? Come on now. I saw your quote on my last video. Get out of the natural gas, man. You're hoping. ACB. Let's have a look at ACB. All right, so let's go to the weekly chart first. Oh, this is a tricky one. Well, again, Jesse, you've been around for a while right now, Jesse. If you don't have a trading setup what you're looking for, if you're asking me what I think about it, should I get into it? Should I not? Wow, look at that. I'm gonna write that down. ACB. Look at that. Gorgeous. So you need to know exactly what you're looking for, Jesse. If you're still doing exactly what, Jesse, if you're looking to get into this stock based on what you think is a good idea or what you hope is a good idea, you're doing the exact same thing you did with the natural gas, and that's not right. ACB weekly. ACB weekly. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, the reason why I'm pointing this out, guys, is this right here, this bar here actually met my trading rules. I'm looking at this chart right now, and that right there actually was a confirmation of a long signal, and this setup here said that this long signal has the legs to have a big move as well too, not just a short-term move, but a very long-term move. Now I don't know how long it was going to be, but it was such a beautiful setup there. So that's the reason why I wrote it down. Like, I didn't see that. Like, that was in 2017. I didn't see that on a weekly chart, but it definitely met the trading rules. And look how much that ran up. Damn. 221%. That's pretty cool. Anyway, guys, so that actually there was an actual entry for on the weekly chart, that is. So have a look at the daily chart here, guys. Jesse, then there's nothing. There is nothing there that I don't see anything here. Just pretty much sideways movement. There's no real strong trend at the moment. There's no strong momentum behind it. There's nothing there. So that's what I think about it. Can I write my email? My email is Howell, HOWELL, my last name, trader, TRADER, Howell trader @gmail.com. Very simple. You know you're a trader, but howtrader @gmail.com. Stock market 2019 crash delayed because of buybacks. Maybe, Nathaniel, maybe. Whether that's true or not, we can't do anything about that. What we can do is trade what we see, not what we think, hope, or fear. I know Good, who predicted 2008 crash, and he told me the date of 2019. Okay. All right. Well, I think you should focus more on the markets and then someone who can tell you when it's definitely going to happen, because that's just total BS. No one knows when it's going to happen. Now, by the way, Nathaniel, we may be in the start of the next crash. Remember, Nathaniel, 2008 crash was 2008 into 2009. It took a year and a half for the so-called crash to happen. See what I'm saying, Nathaniel? So people think crash and they think initial just big drop down really, really quickly. No. 2008, that's 12 months it takes to slowly unfold. So we may be part of that right now. We may be at the start of the next big leg down. We don't know that. So just remember that, guys. If you're trying to predict something, if you think crash, right? You think big spike down, I've got to be ready for it. It's probably not going to happen. When we do start the stair step down, again, we may be doing that right now. We just don't know. Messy chart SPY. Not really. Just nice, strong momentum on the upside. Nothing has changed. That is right. Yes. Yes, that is right. If I put that there. If you guys are interested in my coaching program or anything like that, guys, then email me there and we can go there. CNA, can you please go over? Oh, okay. I did that before, Jesse. Yeah. Hey, John, my man. I've seen you in action. Fantastic. Thank you, John, for answering my question. No problem, man. No problem. Great to see you, John, again. If you want to know what the next stock market crash will be, I will give you my account number. No, Nathaniel. No, Nathaniel, because no one knows when it's going to be. Follow the charts. Follow the market. You're not smarter than the market, and no one can tell you when exactly what's going to happen. No 777 and Jubilee year and all that sort of crap is not going to tell you when it's going to happen. I hope you can find a go-to bread and butter setup and master it and only focus on that. Then confidence will explode, in my opinion. Of course, of course. What do we got here? Buys. What about ARYN? ARYN. ARYN? ARYN. I don't actually have that on here, so. Yeah. So if you guys have any more questions, then just put them into the chat box. John, is it a good idea to take trend of a sector of a stock with a setup into account? John, my man, you can actually probably know what I'm going to say here, right? Because you heard me talk about this live last year. But Ross fan, no. Your job, and keep it really simple, guys. You guys complicate it so much. And I've been there before. Your job is to know exactly what you're looking for on the charts. And when you come across a stock, an index, an ETF, a future, a Forex market that has that setup, make sure that setup meets the trading rules. And that's all you worry about. It's that simple. If you're looking at a 2-minute chart and the 2-minute chart has that setup you're looking for, then it is that simple. Right? It is that simple. So don't complicate it, guys. It really isn't. Your job, as I said before, your number one thing is to get really, 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 really good at identifying what that, because the fact of the matter is, guys, is even if the stock market is heading down, I guarantee there's a whole bunch of stocks heading up. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can't, the stock market's heading down. So we think every single stock is heading down. And John, my man, you can actually back this up, right? There's so many times when the stock market was actually going down, I think it was last year, and I had call option trades that actually made money, or vice versa. The market was going up, and I had put option trades and it made money. So you just never know. Individual stocks are going to do the individual thing. They're not going to follow the Dow Jones, the S&P. Yeah. So. Cheddar, does your trading course help with Forex? Well, my coaching program, yes, it helps with Forex. Yes. Well, I trade the Forex market. In fact, I'll actually, exactly right, John. Exactly right. Oh, John, by the way, John, if you'll know, not the market. Exactly right. John, this ACB, you look at this here. If I go back to this time here, John, how good does that entry bar look like? Looks amazing, right? And remember what I said last year, right, John, about what the setup is for remember what I said last year, right? And John, you know the reason why this had such a big move, right? Because of this, because something within that setup. Does that make sense, John? I'm not going to talk about what I'm hearing. I'm not going to get the cat out of the bag. But John, you know the reason why this had a big move, right? Because it had a lot of something behind it. You know exactly what I'm looking at right now. So you know the reason why this had a big move, because it had all something else behind it. So it wasn't just the entry bar, but it was something else. Look at that big, beautiful bar. Yes, fantastic, John, fantastic. Now, so isn't it interesting, John? The stuff that I was teaching you last year, you know, and you just see it all over the place, right? When you see these certain setups, this is the reason. Hey, John, you probably remember, right? This is the reason why I made a really good profit or trade. You saw that live, actually, didn't you, on Bitcoin, right? It's the exact. This here was very, very similar to what actually happened with Bitcoin, but bearish. That's the reason why I shorted Bitcoin. You saw that live, so it's not a matter of crap. But you saw me take that short trade on Bitcoin and do really well out of it. Crushed it. So. And that's the thing, right, John? John, my man, like, you know yourself, right? Once you know what to look for in a setup and you can see the setup, this has the makings of having a really big move. It's like game over. So you said that the Forex, yeah. Actually, let me actually take guys, great trade in Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin was awesome. Bitcoin was awesome. Now, John, again, you know the reason why Bitcoin dropped so much, right? Because it had something behind it, right? Again, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag here because you paid a lot of money to be part of that group last year, but you know exactly the reason why that had a big drop. The exact same reason why this had a big move on the upside. You know what I mean, John? It's the exact same thing. So I love this stuff, guys. I just absolutely love this stuff. You really, once you start to see this and you can be patient and wait for these setups, game over. Game over. The patience is the harder part, though. Oh, I love what I do, guys. I love what I do. Because once you can get out of your own way and just wait for their setups, it's like, oh, it was worth every penny. Thank you, John. I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. So guys, let me actually, where is this here? So you said Cheddar. So you said, does your trading course help? So it's actually, that trading course that I got there for $27, that's an introduction there. You can do what you want with that. Now with my coaching program, we email me at howtrader.com and I got one spot left for the year. Now I may open it up again in a few months time frame or a couple months time frame, but I don't like to open up too many spots at one time because I want to make sure I can focus on that. And John, my man, you can back this up, right? John, how many people did I have in the group last year that you're part of? And people think that I'm just BS by keeping the group small. How many people were part of the group last year? The group that you're part of last year for the private coaching. So people think that I'm. There you go. So, and I really mean that, guys. All right, I really mean I like to keep my group small. So anyway, I love what I do, guys. I absolutely love what I do. I really, really, really do. I absolutely love what I do, and you guys can do really, really amazing. You just got to know what to look for, and then build on that, and build on that, and build on it. So let me actually share with you. So Cheddar, I'll share with you a trade that actually, guys, give me a yes if you want me to show you a trade that I took yesterday on the Forex market. Or maybe I can show you that tomorrow. It was actually last night, my time. All right, let me show you this here. All right, so here we go. Here we go, guys. This was a trade that I took yesterday. This was the USD CAD. And here was the trade, right? Here was the breakout bar that I looked for. Now, there was a lot more things that actually went into this trading setup. It wasn't just what you're looking at here, but this breakout bar was the confirmation. Now, John, my man, give me a yes in the chat box if you can see how this clearly stands out as an A+ setup, right? It's bam, like look at that. Beautiful. Trading is simple, easy, and fun. You just got to get out of your own way. Really do. So yeah, so that was the trade. It was a short-term trade, guys. It was a short-term trade because of my longer-term charts was saying that my longer-term charts, my 15-minute charts, because as you know, if I trade a 2 or 5 minute chart, my longer-term charts, my 15 and in my 60-minute charts that I look at that confirm this, tells me what type of trade this. So this was actually a short-term trade. So I made just under 1-to-1 on this one here. So if I was risking $10,000 on that one, I made just under that. If I was risking $1,000, I made just like that. If I was risking $5,000, so if my entire risk here was $5,000, well, then it was just under 1-to-1. It was a short-term trade. That's what I say there, guys. If you had $10,000 risk on this trade and you're just waiting for this here, now I'm not saying every trade is going to do this, and it dropped and you made $8,000, and you made $8,000 in a matter of 6 minutes. It's not the amount of time you're in the trade, right? It's the waiting for the really good quality setup. Higher time frame. Exactly right. So, and the fact of the matter is that when I saw this, I'm just like, this thing has a really good chance of running on quite nicely. Now, again, guys, that's what I'm all about. I'm all about consistency for high quality setups. Now this one here didn't have the making of running on for a really, really big move like we saw with ACB or like we had with Bitcoin or any of that. It didn't have the making of that. So I knew automatically that this was going to be a short-term trade. Right? This is going to be a short-term trade in the markets, not a long-term trade. So you need to know I have my setup. But within that setup, I can see from the setup, has this got the makings of being a big move, or is this making, or I'm going to be in that really, really quickly. And that's what it's all about. So there you go, guys. This one here was the makings. And the thing is, guys, is like, it's not that I don't make any of this stuff up. You know what I mean? Like I teach you the trading setup and you know what to look for. John, again, I'm going to go back to you because you're my coaching client last year. John, does this clearly stand out to you of the exact step-by-step rules that you've learned from the workbook that you've got as well of exactly the reason why this was a good quality, this is a good trade? Right? Without me saying, oh, well, you know, I'm just making up, right? I want you to say, you know, is this clearly a really good trade for you? Yeah. It's following the exact same rules. It's not hard. I love what I do, guys. I absolutely love what I do. How long did it take me for me to be profitable? A long time. I don't remember, like, because I went really, really bad for about 3 years, lost a lot of money, and then I did really well again for a while, and then I lost my way and then had a few bad years, and then I've picked myself back up. And that was many years ago, and I've picked myself back up ever since. The last year or so have been the biggest growth years for me. And the biggest growth has been me realizing how much I'm actually slowing my progress down by taking shit trades. Well, it's not really complicated, John. You know what I mean? Like, John, that SBS trade, right? Like, John, let me ask you a question. When you saw that SBS trade, was it complicated, or did you know instantly that that was going to be a good trade? Right? So it's not really complicated. You just gotta learn exactly what to look for in a really good quality setup. That's all. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for me today. You want to get access to my coaching program, guys, then howtrade@gmail.com. We will schedule a time to talk together. And then once we do, then we'll see whether the coaching program is right for you or not. Either way, guys, I hope that this live session has really, really, really helped you out today in a big way. I hope that this is really, helped you out and to share with you and show you that you too can do this. You too can become an amazing trader. You too can do really, 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 really well in the markets. You've just got to follow the simple processes of building that foundation of exactly what you're looking for, then get out of your way and then only take that and you can have an amazing year. Have an amazing day, guys. I appreciate you. I know you can do this, and I'll see you next time.